What's up guys, JZ Aquatics here, and today's video is just going to be a fish room update and why you should keep feeder goldfish in your aquariums or maybe in a pond. More on that later. I would like to update you guys on some certain fish we've got. So I've got convicts and pink convicts, and I've also got the new rack done. So I will be flipping over to that, and I will show you the babies that have already hatched and the eggs that were just laid today. Super exciting stuff. Let's just go straight into it. Come on. So as you can see, I've got the whole rack set up. So this is the only tank that doesn't have a heater. And I put it in the middle so that maybe the heat would kind of keep it steady, but we'll see. So I've got a heater in this one. It's ready to go. It's been a day, maybe 2 days. Yeah, 2 days since I put all the heaters in for these 2 tanks. So I got those 2 in. And then there's the goldfish that I keep in my aquariums. I also keep a variety outside of my pond. And then in this tank, it was set up for like a long time. Had the goldfish in this one for a while to cycle it. And I got rosy barbs in here. Just 2 of them. I got to get another female, but they're happy in here. And then I just finished setting this tank up. As you can tell, I've got some gold mystery snails. I got 5 gold mystery snails. I took my 2 swordtails and put in here, and the plecos in here because there's eggs in another tank. And then I got 2 bundles of hornwort, which is really good for the swordtails, and the pleco or the snails really won't eat on it that much. And the goldfish tank, and then this is Mr. Dirk's new tank. He's getting medicated to see if I can get his fins to heal back. I'm not sure if y'all can see that really good, but his fins are growing back. It's just taking a while. But I medicate this tank like every 2 to 3 days, water changes every 2 to 3 days, all kinds of good stuff like that. And then the big 75, we actually have a spawn right in there. I'll get a light on it. Right there. You can see all the wrigglers. They are now 2 or 3 days old of wriggling since they've hatched. And there is mama and dad. I've not fed the tanks yet. That's why they're all everywhere. They're hungry, as you can tell by the goldfish. And then I will jump to the other room real quick. Show y'all what's going on in here. So we'll start with this side. I got the mollies in here, nothing special. This tank's not set up yet. The betta fish, gotta do a water top off for her. But in this tank, we've actually got some rice fish eggs. They were in here, but I took out the female because she was holding eggs, and I put her over there, and she rubbed off into that tank. So I don't know if they're gonna hatch or not. I've never had rice fish before, but there is a few in this tank, and hopefully they will hatch, and I will update you guys if they do. And then in this tank, we actually have, I'll see if I can find one and point it out to you. Well, we've got a bunch of baby swordtails in here, like right there. That one right there. Super awesome. There's a bunch in here now. There's one at the top over there. It's really hard to see, they're really small, but I took some of the swordtails out, and now they're starting to free up. Here's one. They're starting to free up some space, so I'm guessing that's made the females a little more comfortable to produce more. And then there's the last male of the orange. I think they're called vampire swordtails, but these don't have the long fins like the vampires do, so I'm not sure what they're called. And then nothing's in this tank still have to move it up here. And this tank's the same. Been stealing Java moss out of it. And then I got the same guppies in here. It's taking them a while to grow. I'm guessing it's because it's a 20-gallon tank and I need to upgrade them, but don't really have an extra tank to put them in besides the 55 of the mollies, and I don't want them to get eaten by the mollies, so we're just going to try to grow them out in here for a while. Nothing's different in this tank. Still got the guppies in this tank. But this tank here, as you can tell right there, and there's one in this cave. I don't know if y'all can see them, it's really dark, but they have laid eggs all inside of that cave, everywhere. And then the angelfish are showing some breeding activity, maybe some egg laying soon from them. They kind of knocked over my Java fern, but we're gonna get past that. And I also got these pieces of driftwood from Fish Haven in what is it, Dodge City, Alabama. So if y'all ever are around there, go check them out. I got all these plants that are new from them. Like this one is growing really good. I got the driftwood and that from them, and I was going to get some fish, but you know, didn't have the time to pick up fish. I had to go grocery shopping and stuff afterwards. So, you know, but I was so stoked because I knew she had eggs and I didn't know where she would lay them. And she laid them right inside the cave. And this is going to be their first time as parents, so we're going to see how they do. And then I got this up and running with a new air pump. But I'm going to do a review on this air pump soon, as I'm going to do a review with that filter soon, as I keep saying. I've just been working so much that I haven't yet, but I got it bubbling, so maybe we can get this one cycled. I think that's where the goldfish are going next. But that is the update, guys. So super stoked, super excited on all of the breeding activity happening. And that's, once again, that's why I set up this entire rack, is for babies. So I know that this will be cycled next, so the convict babies will go in here for a little while, probably like 2 weeks, until they are, you know, an inch or two, and then I'll have to upgrade them to a bigger tank. I'm not sure which tank yet. I might have to move the mollies or something, but, or I may just split them and then half in here, or however it's going to work. I'll just have to find out. But that's why I built this rack. So the reason you keep goldfish in your aquariums is it has to go through a cycle, a tank cycle, right? The reason you keep the goldfish is it jump starts to cycle. Goldfish are hardy, they produce waste, they eat food. It's all around good for the tank. If you have pond snails and goldfish, drop them in a brand new tank. Just make sure if you have a heater, the heater is set and has been running for at least a day, and then acclimate the goldfish. They're just like other fish, can't just plop them in, as you would say. They are hardy, but still can die. And if you have any type of like chlorine, anything that's super crazy in a tank, the goldfish will die. And then you can know you spent your, what, 20 cents on a feeder goldfish instead of maybe hundreds of dollars worth of fish, you know? It's like a little fail-safe I like to test out, I guess you would say. It's decent. I do like the goldfish. They're pretty and all, but I just keep them in my pond. And when I'm setting up new tanks, like these 2 tanks here, I'll probably swap these guys to there within the next 2 days, maybe, to let that tank get cycled. Switch over here, these tanks will get cycled, and then that way my convict babies, when they get free swimming, I can scoop them out, acclimate them to this tank. That way they're all good, can drop them in there. Goldfish will move on to these, and then whenever I get rice fish or I get pink convicts free swimming or whatever, I can drop them into the next one. Or if I have to split the convicts, I can drop them into the next one, knowing that the tank is safe. Now therefore, I still use AquaSafe in the tanks, I still use Stress Coat, and the goldfish are fine and happy, as you can see. They do just fine. They're not very happy because it's just a 10-gallon, but, and I try to put 2 in a tank, because if one dies, it might have been because it died, and 2 would be like, if both died, there's a problem, you know? And then Malbert the cat. Then I got the custom spawning mop that you can find anywhere on YouTube. Super easy to make. I might do a video on them. I've only made like 3. They're super simple though, and I just used some like cork in the top, tied it around, you're good to go. And I think I'm letting it soak to make sure, you know, nothing's wrong with it or nothing. And I'm gonna put it in here for these guys to let them breed and hopefully get more rosy barbs, because that would be cool. Rosy barbs are also kind of a pond fish, but yeah. But that is the reason why I use goldfish in my aquariums. Super fun, super awesome. Then hopefully we can breed mystery snails, and hopefully these swordtails will breed as well. And the pleco was in the 55 with the pink convicts, but I'm afraid that he'll eat the eggs at night. Not 100% sure if plecos eat eggs or not, but I just figured he's small enough I can move him into this tank and he can clean up some of the algae, because this light is way too bright for this tank. But this light dishes out enough light for these tanks. I don't know, I guess this light's just a little brighter or something. But I used the same one for that tank. It still has algae and stuff, but not nowhere near as bad as this, which I guess that would mean more water volume for light, you know. So the snails have been putting in a lot of work, but the pleco will hopefully clean up a little bit. But yeah, just thought I would update you guys on everything, because within a week I've been working so much, and you know, working so much within a week a lot can happen, and apparently it has. I set up the rack. I worked like a early shift, so I got home early, and then I set up the rest of the rack and got everything going with that within a couple of days. And then 2 days after that, I seen the convicts hatch. I'm crazy after that, but I'm waiting till they're free swimming to pull them out, because the mom and dad are taking really good care of them. And I'm also going to try to train the pink convicts to do the same thing, but hopefully they'll do it on their first try. I'm not really sure though, but if they start to eat them, or I notice, you know, something, I may pull out the babies, or we'll figure something out. I thought about building a I guess you would call it like a breeding setup for like baby fish. Dean uses it, and Keeping Fish Simple uses it. A lot of people uses it, so I may end up doing that with like I don't know, maybe I could do it with the 55, but maybe that's too big. I'm not really sure. We'll see. Depends on how many babies we start making in the fish room. I'm hoping that the angelfish start breeding soon, but I guess we'll have to see. So yeah. And then also I'll be using the goldfish to set up the 29 in this room. So once I get that running again, I'll put the goldfish in here, let them swim around in here, you know, cycle this tank, and I may just completely drain this tank right here. I may completely drain it and just redo it, take the anubias out and all the snails, and then I'll just redo it all and put goldfish in this one, or you know, whatever. Here's socks. But yeah, and then I also plan to take this tank down, but I don't know if I want to get rid of the killifish, or if I want to keep them. I'm not really sure. Haven't decided. I'm definitely keeping all the plants, but I don't know. I'm just having mixed emotions about this tank. But it is just, I'm just so stoked. I don't know if y'all can see them on camera or not, but they are just in that cave on the wall. Hopefully y'all can see them. I was trying to get a good shot, but we'll check it out later. And if you guys have made it to the end of the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It helps me out a lot. Thank you guys for subscribing that have subscribed, and I will catch y'all next time.